Hi guys, today we're going to take a look at Voegwoorde. What's Voegwoorde? Conjunctions. It's that word that you use to combine two sentences together. And it's very easy. We have 5 steps to do that. We have 3 groups. We have group 1, group 2, and group 3. Now for group 1, I want you to think of the sound a cat makes. And that is meow. So you have your maar, your en, your of, and your want. Then you also have your dog, right? You have cats and dogs. So your dog is dog. Now that will be your group 1. That's how you can remember it. And please remember your punctuation. Your maar gets a comma, your want gets a comma, and your dog gets a comma. Very important with group 1, there's no change in the word order. So what I mean by that is, for example, you have your sentence 1, full stop, and you have your sentence 2, full stop. And they will put like maar there. So now they tell you to combine those 2 sentences. What you're going to do is you're just going to write sentence 1, comma, maar, and sentence 2 as is, full stop. There will be no change in your sentence 2. Remember, the only thing that changes or has a change in it is your second sentence. And group 2 and 3 is where the changes start, right? So group 2, just take a look at that. Dan, daarna, dus, daarom, al, toe. You have your commas and your semicolons. So just a tip for you to remember the difference. So your group 3 has all your dats, right? Your dat, your omdat, your voordat, and also your vraagwoorde. So your wanneer, your waar, your hoeveel. So the way to distinguish a group 3 and a group 1 and a group 2, remember group 1 is meow and dog. Group 3 is your dats. So anything that's not a meow or a dog or a dat has to be group 2, guys. You just have to remember when do you get a comma and when do you get a semicolon. With group 2, your werkwoord is, your verb, your werkwoord is going to come immediately after you've added your voegwoord. So for example, if you have your sentence 1, full stop, and your sentence 2, and your voegwoord is done, you will write your sentence 1, you write comma done, then you'll write your sentence 2, but without the verb. The verb will come immediately after done, from the second sentence. But we'll do an example. In group 3, that's all our dats and our vraagwoorde, and there's no punctuation, lucky us. Your verb will go to the end of the sentence. So for example, these are your 2 sentences that you have to combine with dat. You will write your first sentence as is, you will add dat. Then you'll add your second sentence, but your verb of that second sentence will go to the end of your sentence and you'll put a full stop. Alright, it might sound like gibberish now, but let's look at examples. So, you have 5 steps to do this. You check which group it is. You copy sentence 1 as is always. Your sentence 1 remains untouched. You will add any punctuation and then you will add your voegwoord. Then you will move around your sentence 2 depending on the group. Remember group 1, no change. Group 2, verb is immediately after the voegwoord. And group 3, so group 2, verb is immediately after the voegwoord. And group 3, the verb goes to the end of the second sentence. So let's take a look. Zara studeer hard, sy skryf woensdag. And we have want as our voegwoord. What is want? Remember meow? There's a W, so it's want, so it's group 1. And why did I say about group 1? There's no change in your word order of your sentence 2. So literally what you do is, you write the first sentence as is, you add any punctuation. And remember, what was our punctuation? It was a comma. So we add our comma. We add our voegwoord, want. And what do we do now? What is the step? You move the verb, if applicable. But remember, this is a group 1, so we write our sentence as is. So you'll have, Zara studeer hard, comma, want sy skryf woensdag. Okay, let's look at this one. Ek is bly. Dit is amper Kersfees. And omdat. Omdat, remember I said there's dat in group 3. So this has to be group 3, right? And what happens to the verb? The verb goes to the end of your second sentence. Remember, sentence 1 remains the same. So let's do it. You write down sentence 1 as is. You add your punctuation, but for group 3, no punctuation, so we add our voegwoord. Then we write, our second sentence has to change now, remember, our verb. So now we go look for our verb. What is our verb? Our verb is is. So what I would do is I would just make a line through it temporarily, right? And just forget about it for a bit. And I'll write down every other word in that sentence. You see, I've just jotted down that second sentence without that word I took out. And that word I took out is the verb. Because remember, the verb goes at the end of the sentence. And then you put a full stop. So now you've successfully combined two sentences with omdat. Ek is bly omdat dit amper Kersfees is. Alright, then what happens if they throw a trick in, like in grade 10, grade 11, they add two verbs. They add an auxiliary verb and they add a doing verb. Now you're like, what must I do? Okay, very easy. They will follow each other consecutively, but the trick is which comes first. Alright, so if it is an auxiliary verb that is not het, so anything but het will come before your doing verb. And then het will come after the doing verb. So let's take a look. Ek is bly. Ek kan lekker eet. Omdat is your voegwoord. So your rules remain the same, right? So you say, you write down the first sentence as is, ek is bly. No punctuation because it's group 3. And you add omdat, your voegwoord. Then what did they say? You remove all the verbs because it has to go to the end of the sentence. And what is our verb? Our doing verb is eat. So I'll just make a line through that for now. But remember, we also now have an auxiliary verb in the sentence. So we also have to remove that. So I'll remove that. And what do I have left? Ek and lekker. And what did I say? You write it as is. As is. So omdat ek lekker. And now you have to check. What is your auxiliary verb? And your auxiliary verb is kan. Kan is not het. So what does that mean? Kan goes before the doing verb. So kan eet. So ek is bly omdat ek lekker kan eet. Full stop. Now let's say you have a het as the auxiliary verb. So you say, ek is honger, ek het nie geëet nie, omdat. Right. So your rules of voegwoorde remain the same. You write the first sentence as is, ek is honger. You add your punctuation, but remember this is group 3 because omdat is dat group 3, right? No punctuation. So you just add your voegwoord omdat. Then you have to take out your verbs in the second sentence and move it to the end of the sentence, right? But now you have two verbs. You have het and you have geëet. But you have to remove both. Unfortunately, or well, fortunately, you have to remove both, right? Remember, because you have an auxiliary verb and you have a doing verb. What is left in our sentence? Ek nie nie. Alright? So, what do you do now? Now you have two ni's. Now what must you do? The one ni will always be the last word in your sentence. So we take one ni, right? And we put a star there. And we say lost, right? Just so that you can remember. So what is left? We have ek nie. So you draw down ek nie. Perfect. So what do you have left? You have het, geëet, and nie. But remember, nie goes last. So we don't care about that right now. We only care about het and geëet. Right. So what did I say? Helping verbs goes before the doing verb unless it is het. What is our helping verb or our auxiliary verb? It's het, right? So we'll write geëet and then het. So geëet het and then our last nie, full stop. So it will be ek is honger omdat ek nie geëet het nie. And that's how you would combine two sentences with a voegwoord where you have one verb and two verbs. That's it, guys. The next video we will look at how to start with a voegwoord. See ya.